Hello everybody, and Jess here, and welcome back to Tokyo 24 Coup, the final episode. It's finally here. It's been delayed, the series had two delays. We're finally watching Tokyo 24 Coup. The next season has already started. I already started watching shows from the next season. Now we're finishing Tokyo 24 Coup. Hopefully, it will at least be a decent ending. It won't. Hopefully, it won't disappoint me, but I will keep my expectations low, lest I be disappointed. I don't want to be disappointed because there's so many actually cool shows that we're gonna get to watch this season. I don't want to be disappointed at the end of the previous season. Then again, there's episode 13 of Arifureta out now. So I guess the season of, what was it? Winter 2022? Winter 2021? I'm not sure. But that season, the previous season, hasn't really concluded yet. Not until we watch episode 13 of Arifureta, which we will do on Monday. But let's not talk about that. Let's talk about Tokyo 24 Coup. What happened in the last episode? Well, our main trio, our RGB, finally decided to communicate. Finally decided to act like human beings, sans them beating themselves up, or rather beating each other up to a bloody pulp. They are finally talking, and they are finally thinking, and they are finally wondering, and they are finally asking questions and looking for solutions. For good solutions. Not just going completely that way, not just going completely that way, but finding a solution that's best. Not going for one kind of lesser evil, not going for another kind of lesser evil, trying to find a solution that just isn't evil. And I commend them for it. Took them their fucking sweet time, but they're finally here. They are finally making decisions, or at least trying to make them. And yeah, that was essentially the highlight of the previous episode. Everybody now knows about Asumi, everybody had their own idea about how to rescue her, and now I'm assuming they will try to rescue her. They have the weird thingamajig that has some magic technobabble on it. How will they use it? I've no clue, but I hope they will use it well. But I guess we won't see that until we watch this episode. So, subs, sound, and we can get started with it with episode 12 of Tokyo 24 Coup, version by Sabs, please, as usual. And it's gonna be starting in 3, 2, 1, go. Right, and the Asumi is calling them now. It's morphin time. Another binary choice. She has wings now? Back wings and front wings. The fuck is that bye-bye supposed to mean? Exactly. Choose a third option. Uh, do red? Do red. Huh. Right, they have a man on the inside, essentially. Superhero gear? Kinda cheesy if you ask me, but sure. Rollerblade hero. Oh, the simulation is bugging out. Is it Asumi's doing? Yep, Asumi. Asumi is trying to stop them. Question is why? Is she really that entrenched in the idea of a binary choice? Ooh, oh, that's not great CG. That's not great. That really didn't look great. This is kinda dope though. Not gonna lie, this is kinda dope. You know what? I would actually love a series with the three of them just playing superheroes. Without the whole Asumi bullshit. Oh, you know what? Make Asumi into a Zordon, essentially. I'm onto something. Everyone is a terrorist. Of course not. Yeah, that's predictable. Of course. Of course. Why are there false reports then? Yep. Okay. Okay. Or for everyone to be arrested. Whichever happens first. Okay, that's some great sound design. Genuinely. No, you won't. Ram through them? It's not like they're made of solid steel. Oh, so Asumi's running completely rampant. Yep. Everything has a weakness, everything can be exploited. It's always the trash disposal chute. It's always the trash disposal chute. If I ever become a supervillain, I'm gonna make sure that the most trapped and mined and secured thing in my base is the trash chute. They are choosing a future. It's just they're not choosing one of the futures you showed them. Ooh. And I guess his rollerblades are now indisposed. Honestly, I still have no clue why they're doing it. Why they're so desperate to see her. Just to say their goodbyes? Or are they actually looking for a way to save her? Is she gonna open the door now? Yep. Is Gori gonna be waiting for them? And he's gonna be the final boss. And they all arrive at Asumi's place. Okay, what is that gonna achieve though? He doesn't give a fuck about casualties. I mean, he's telling the truth. Asumi is calling everybody. Asumi is calling everybody. Is she gonna like reveal the truth, or what's gonna happen? There has to be. There has to be a third way. There has to be a third path. Now you have a change of heart? Now you have a change of heart? Really? I mean, you contacted them. They were coming to terms with you being dead, but then you contacted them. Shuuta, come on. Find a third solution. Are they, the three of them, gonna become part of the Kanae system? Together with Asumi? Yeah, human life is a string of failures. As long as you take something out of that failure, it's all good. That's some nice music in the background. Thank you. It took them 12 episodes, well, 11 episodes, to figure out the thing they seem to have known in episode 1. Okay, so essentially, the computer was depressed and they had to help with her depression. Good, don't accept it. Find out a third way. She doesn't have to keep processing all that data. She doesn't have to remain an AI behind the SARG. Her consciousness can still live within the cornucopia, just don't torture her with all those decisions. Right? Essentially, use her as means for technocracy, use her processing power and whatnot to make decisions about where to place a dog park, right? An optimal placement of a dog park, not decisions about life and death. And keep her here, keep her alive. Okay, so we're a syscon. Gotcha. Well, you clearly didn't show it. Oh, that's so fucking cheesy. That's so fucking cheesy. Is everyone giving Asumi their power? Take our love, Asumi. uh, and she's gonna get Thanos snapped? Kill me? Unplug me? Okay, we have a few more minutes. How are they gonna end it? Really a bittersweet end? We're really going for a bittersweet? We're really going for bittersweet. And she disappears. So she could have done it all this time, but she didn't, apparently. And then hang yourself, please. Oh, hey, that's April 6th. That was 2 days ago. Hmm. Okay, so he's going in her mother's footsteps. Hopefully, he's not gonna get shanked by a hobo like her. Where is he, though? Did he decide to go to a soul searching trip to the mountains of Tibet or something? Boulangerie? Okay, so Shuuta has his own bakery? Yeah, Shuuta has his own bakery. Okay, cool, I guess. And that's it. Not gonna lie, kinda lackluster, but also kinda not. I guess it was decent enough as far as the endings go. So let's go through it again, like we always do. Okay. Uh, yeah, two possible futures. Either give it to Ran, and Gori gets accused of crimes, and the system will be dismantled, and the world will return to the way it was. Which, in the end, that's exactly what happened. The existence and the nature of the Kanaya system was revealed, and the 24th word returned to the way it was. So, so not sure why they're showing it as a bad future where everybody dies and whatnot. If you give it to Kouki, Zerdcast will be corrected, and hello, authoritarian dystopian regime. Uh, you need to choose. She has that face, there's no way I can choose a future. And Asumi essentially wants them to choose a future for her, but they are deciding on another future. I'm not sure I'm a huge fan of the kind of future they've chosen, right? Because hmm, the first episode, at least that's the vibe I got from the first episode. It was about the fact that given a binary choice between two possible futures, you can still create any number of other futures, not only just the two that are presented before you. It's a fake trolley dilemma. It's, I guess it is a trolley dilemma, but you're allowed to, I don't know, put a piece of a rail in the way of the trolley so it stops, or you're allowed to dismantle the tracks, or you're allowed to free the people tied to the tracks, you know? It's a trolley dilemma, but not a pure one, because at no point do you only have a binary choice. between two different futures. You always have any number of choices, an infinite number of possibilities. And I really thought that the first episode was all about that. And I really thought that that's gonna be the driving force of the show. That they are given two possible choices, but they are picking the third one. The third one that turns out to be better for everybody. Later, they kind of forgot about it. From episode 2 onwards, well, episode 3 onwards, they were only picking one of the two possible choices, which kind of invalidated episode 1 in my eyes. But I thought that they are slowly gonna grow into understanding again that those choices are never actually binary. And I thought that we will see a culmination of it in this episode, where they finally realize that Asumi tells us that we can either perfect the Kanae system and everybody will be oppressed, or we can dismantle the Kanae system and kill Asumi. So either everybody is oppressed and Asumi lives in constant nightmare, or the system is dismantled and there's only anarchy and Asumi dies. No, you know what, Asumi? Fuck you. We're gonna find a third way. We're gonna find a way that saves you and saves the 24th word. We're gonna eat our cake and have it too. Fuck your trolley dilemma. Fuck your binary choices. I really thought and I really hoped that's what they're gonna go for in this episode. But it seems like they mostly went for Ran's path of deleting Asumi and bringing 24th ward back to status quo, except not mindlessly, and there is actually some new agency or something that takes care of the issues. So I'm kind of disappointed. Honestly, I'm kind of disappointed that they didn't go for the third choice. Superhero gear, cheesy as fuck, but also kind of cool. I don't think he used those thingamajigs on his forearms. They're like guns, web launchers, or something. I have no clue. I guess they just decided to meet Asumi. No specific goal in mind. They just want to meet her and see where it goes, I guess. That's what they decided on. And this is just forest berries tea. Right now, with the ciphers boosting, I can alter basic data kunai left behind. Right, that's another kind of weird thing. Asumi doesn't want them to meet her, and yet she still gave them superpowers that make it easier for them to meet her. I guess Asumi isn't thinking rationally. Maybe, I have no fucking clue. I just contacted you to say goodbye. This I like. This I actually genuinely like. Not the bollards. The bollards look like shit. But I really like those bits of Shuuta just flying around. I really like it. I especially like how it seems the animation and the art in this episode is actually decent. I was afraid that it's gonna take a significant nosedive because it wasn't great in the previous episode, from what I recall. But it seems like they mostly focused on making the finale look good and be animated good, while kind of dropping the ball on previous episodes. I guess it's fine. I guess it's fine. But yeah, as I mentioned, I would actually kind of love it if. Oh, that's some nice impact frames. If they were to make a sequel to Tokyo 24-ku, but don't focus on all those metaphysical questions about the nature of humanity and future choices and whatnot. Focus on just the RGB being superheroes. I actually think, honestly, I honestly think this show, I would have liked this show more if that was actually the focus. Right? Keep the mystery of Asumi somewhere behind, maybe not behind the scenes, but keep it in mind. But other than that, have the series be maybe not entirely a villain of the week kind of deal, but closer to a superhero show. Where they get a call from Asumi, oh, there's a situation, Erabe, you can choose 100 people die or you can choose 50 people die. And they always, in the end, they come through and figure out the third way. Ran with his ultra hacking skills, Kouki with his charisma and prediction abilities, and Shuuta with his brawn and speed. And they can always find a third way and save the day. I would actually love it if that's what the series was. And if this season culminated in them finding Asumi and instead of deleting her, turning her into essentially a Zordon, where she's not fed all those, you know, multitude of information and she's not being forced to choose between them and she doesn't live in a constant nightmare of knowing about all of the past, all of the now, and all of the future, but she's just a helper, so to speak. As I mentioned during the series, make her, during the episode, make her a helper AI, a helper consciousness. She knows the entire city plan and whatnot. Ask her where would be the best place to build a new playground so that it has a maximum coverage. Right? Stuff like that. Don't make her predict future, make her make the lives of people here better. Simple. And the RGB could remain superheroes. Asumi contacts them. Oh, there is an issue somewhere. Go there and solve the problem. Now it will be super cool. But they really wanted to go for something bittersweet. They really wanted some drama. Return the shantytown to us. Yeah, everybody was designated a terrorist. Gori is, of course, unmoved. And we all should go and give them a piece of our minds. I love this little jet rollerblades that Shuuta has now. I love the idea of Shuuta being a rollerblade hero. What's that game called? Jet Set Radio. Shuuta being a jet set superhero, essentially. That'd be genuinely cool. Having support from Ran and Kouki. Man, such a wasted potential. Such a wasted potential. In my opinion, at least. Right? If you liked the way it went, towards the drama and the bittersweet ending and whatnot, I'm not dissing you or anything, but I personally would have loved it more if they went for a more superhero show. Yeah, Kouki being able to scan the building instantly and find the entry, Ran being able to open any doors and hack into anything, and Shuuta being able to just hold them both and jump on a piece of steel wire. Apparently, that doesn't really work as a bungee, so their backs would be broken, but whatever. Right? That would be so cool. But no, Asumi is all depresso. You helped us, Asumi. We can figure it out if we talk to each other. As a side note, I fucking love Asumi's design. Uh, in her AI form, she has all those wings and feathers and whatnot, and it's persistent in her design throughout. Like, what are those armbands? Who the fuck wears armbands? I don't know anybody who wears armbands, but they are all nice and feathery and give her an angelic appearance. And it's a constant theme. Here, she has this fluffy collar and fluffy cuffs, and it again gives her an angelic appearance. And of course, Asumi eventually gets in, and they're in somehow. Somehow they just get transported into Asumi's matrix. Is the destruction for the sake of creation? I'm not sure what to think of Zeroth. It feels like he's been flip-flopping kinda throughout the series. Right? First he was portrayed as someone who has good intentions, then as a mad terrorist, then someone with good intentions, then a complete madman, then someone with good intentions, then a complete madman terrorist, now someone with good intentions. I'm not sure what to think of him. I don't think the writers of this show were, are great at consistency in character writing. Yeah, Chikuwa isn't a consistent character. Zeroth isn't a consistent character. Now Gori, initially, then again, I guess it's a great villain villain backstory. I think I spoke about it in one of the previous episodes that Gori initially had good intentions and created the Kanaya system to prevent all crime, but eventually lost the original drive towards it, and now he only just wants to stop crime, even if the cost of stopping crime is doing a crime. And yeah, he wants to prevent tragedies, even if the cost of preventing those tragedies is creating more tragedies. Now he's all like, "Oh, don't take my wife's name out of your fucking mouth," even though Chikuwa didn't slap him. No, he didn't slap Chikuwa. Yeah, he didn't slap Chikuwa. Now, oh no, Asumi's here. And he's like, "Oh, Asumi, my daughter that I used as a computer." What? She's a person? She's not just a dead body? What? If left alone, Kanai's system will run further out of control. I need to disappear or disperse myself. I still had a hope that they will simply turn her from a Kanai system that's all about predicting the future and whatnot into a helper AI. But alas. There's no other way. That was another clue that I had, that they will find another way. Because note that Asumi only thinks in binaries, right? She only ever gives them two choices. So now, again, she thinks in binaries. Either I continue to exist and Kanaya system falls and falls and falls into disrepair even further, or I disperse myself and Kanaya system stops working. And I really thought, and I was really hoping that they are gonna go for a third choice. But no. No, why would we? I can't stay with everyone. I'm no longer human. I'm Kanaya system itself. I know everything. Choosing the correct future means we abandon the mistaken future. It's a task that someone has to do. I was really hoping that Shuuta is gonna go like, no, no, Asumi, fuck you, fuck you. You're still a human. You're a human consciousness. You can stay with everyone. We're gonna figure something out. And maybe Gori will have a change of heart, and or maybe Tsuzaragawa is gonna act on her own and cut off the flow of information to Asumi, so that she's no longer plagued by the visions of future and past and whatnot, and she can just exist. And now Gori has a sudden change of heart. Such responsibility is intolerable for humans. Why the fuck did you use a human body then? And a human brain? I created a Kanai system because it was intolerable. Well, you didn't have a problem agreeing to more atrocities being committed against the protesters, if that means the fucking, you know, voting or whatever the fuck it's called goes well. I never imagined Asumi's conscience. Conscience? Consciousness, not conscience. Conscience and consciousness are two very different concepts. I guess, sure, her conscience still remained, but what's more important is that her consciousness still lingers. I never imagined it. Did you really have absolutely no interest in the Kanai system? You just made it and let it run? And didn't, read reports and whatnot? I know they're trying to kind of redeem Gori here, but I don't think he's redeemable. Yeah, my physical body is already dead. Meeting you is completely meaningless. Forget me. Doing this only agonizes everyone. I didn't know either. I want to see, I want to talk to you, I want to confirm that you're alive, I want to know why you sent the ciphers to us, and I want to apologize about the fire, and I will find a way to keep you alive, and happy. I really thought that's what they're going for here. You suffered so much by yourself for everyone else's happiness. We will share your burden. We will guide ourselves to our own futures. We will do it together. Asumi will take part of your burden. Keep sending us ciphers. Right? If you're unsure about the future, just go ahead, send us the ciphers. Or you know what? Let implant a permanent connection in our brains or something. And we can share your burden and we can serve as your physical bodies. Or something, some third solution. With our own strength, we'll surge to the very end for a choice that we can be ready for. We can do it. We will make sure to do it. We can make the impossible possible. We will help you, Asumi. It might be possible if it's RGB. And suddenly, yeah, you understand that Asumi is already dead. We came here to say goodbye. What? What about picking a third option? Picking a third choice? What about, picking a good future? What about breaking the binary choice? What about episode 1? We're really ending with them picking one of the choices. Disabling the Kanaya system and killing Asumi. I love you. I love you too, Shuuta. And I really thought that now they will have a change of heart. I love you more, and I love you too. And you know what? You know what, guys? I want to stay with you. Help me just, reduce the flow of data or something. Or, you know what, Asumi? No, we won't let you die. We will find a way. Kouki said that he has a way to put you in a, dream sleep. We're gonna put you in stasis for now, and we're gonna find a way to bring you back. Something, something, anything that would tell me that they are actually going for a third choice. But no. And now we have a cheesy scene of everybody saying "I love you." Gori's face. Jesus Christ. I love you, Asune. I love you so much. Well, we clearly aren't showing that, or rather, weren't showing that. I love you. I love you. I love you. We love you. I love you all too. I would like to say goodbye now. I'd hate it if you can't move forward because of me. I mean, if you remained consciousness, and if Shuuta was able to contact you at any time via some app on his phone or something, he wouldn't have to move on. I'm not a huge fan of the resolution. Kind of feels like. First of all, feels very much like maybe not forced drama, but that's the first description that comes to my mind. Kind of forced drama, killing Asumi for the sake of killing Asumi, for the sake of making everybody sad and squeezing a tear out of the viewer's eye and whatnot. I'm also not a huge fan because they didn't look for a third solution at all, which is what I was really hoping for in the first episode, and which is what happened in the first episode. And I was hoping for it all throughout the series. We even had little bits and pieces telling us that this is where it might be going, right? During the whole thing with the tornado, not Shuuta, Ran made one choice, Kouki made another choice, and their choices were incompatible. The thing we were supposed to get out of it is that making a choice without discussing the choices with each other. Oh, sorry. Without discussing those choices with each other might bring more bad than good. Then we had the whole thing with what's his face? Kunai. Right? Again, Ran made one choice, Kouki made another choice, and they didn't consult it with each other. They didn't talk about it. And the ultimate outcome was just bad. And Shuuta was trying to go, both times, Shuuta was trying to go for a third way that actually saves everybody. But then we kind of forgot about it. And ultimately, they would always pick one of two choices, and in the end, they picked one of two choices. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of that, of putting all that premise to waste. I would like to talk about the truth behind the Kanae system. This is how it should be. No, not really. I'm going to start attending high school, art school. That's a great place to put a gravestone. Families with children are just sitting around there watching sakura leaves, having a picnic, and there's a fucking gravestone in the middle. That's why we have graveyards. Yeah, they're doing art. Aran is doing art. And he's in contact with Tsurugawa. Why? We weren't able to create a substitute system for the previous canal system. That's why we relied on a biological brain. We humans will take its place. That kind of feels like Tsuragawa is calling Ran just to give us some exposition about where it went, but so, in a way that it doesn't feel like exposition, where it's not the narrator that tells us the people of the 24th Ward came up with a new system where it's multiple humans who are monitoring the city and making decisions and whatnot. It's Tsuragawa talking about it to Ran. Kouki is becoming a teacher. Chiku and the rest are now police, not SARG, or police. Shu just fucked off somewhere. Gori just fucked off somewhere. Boulangerie. Does boulangerie actually mean something? Let me check real quick. Boulangerie. The only... Oh, it just means bakery in French. Yeah, boulangerie just means bakery. Cool. Shuuta has a bakery named Bakery. Uh, is it France? Did he fuck off to France? That's why it's called boulangerie. Yeah, he's probably in France. And that's it. And that's it. Tokyo 24 Coup, everyone. I guess this ending, this last episode, this finale, could have gone worse, but it also could have gone better. Uh, it's something that I was constantly talking about during the discussion segment. That I was really hoping for it to go another way. Either go, and I really feel like it would be better if it went another way. If it either went towards being a superhero show, or if it went towards them slowly, the RGB slowly learning that they can choose a third future at any given time, that Asumi's binary choices are not as binary as they seem, and all of that culminating in the ending by them making a third choice that saves Asumi somehow. But it could have been worse. It could have been worse. They could have just gone completely for one of the choices right from the get go, or Kouki might have tried to go for his own choice, and Ran go for his own choice, and Shuuta go for his own choice, and everybody fucking everything up. All in all, I guess it's not the worst ending that it could have been, but not the best either. It's just an ending. Kind of disappointing, but kind of expected at the same time, you know? Hmm. I feel like there are also some threads left hanging and unfinished. Like the whole thing with the criminal organization that's trying to buy out all the land everywhere. The dude with the Nike scar on his forehead. Hmm. I honestly think like I honestly feel like they had some ideas for it, and the first episode in particular was very focused, and then they continued more or less focused around the same ideas. But somewhere down the line, I'd like to say around episode 7 or so, they kind of lost that focus and went completely off the hook. Not off the hook, that's not the incorrect expression. Uh, they started doing something completely different. Maybe they didn't, um, they didn't outline the story that far and they were just kind of winging it. Or maybe the writer changed or something. I have no idea. I have no idea, but one fact remains that the early episodes and the later episodes feel very different. Even as they feel like two different shows to a degree. The very first episodes were really giving me the vibe of okay, in episode 1, we show that there is a third choice possible. Then everybody magically forgets that the third choice is possible and they're just fucking everything up. But over the course of the series, they will learn that if they talk with each other, they can, make up for each other's weaknesses, and with Shuuta's athleticism, with Kouki's smarts, with Ran's hacking skills, they can always find a third way, and that will culminate in the finale. The first episodes, the first half of the series was really giving me those vibes of them slowly growing to be able to find a third way, slowly growing back to what they already knew in episode 1. But okay, whatever. Weird thing that they were aware of, that they were able to create a third path in episode 1, then they forget about this possibility. But sure, whatever. As long as they get back to knowing that, that's all fine. But no, apparently. And the second half of the show was just an endless string hmm, of I don't even know how to call it. I wanted to say conspiracies, but it was an endless stream of just stuff that wasn't what the first half of the show was about. I think that's the best way I can put it. Right? The second half was all about Carniadis, it was all about Asumi, it was all about the referendum, and it was all about Zero, it was all about those different little factions working against each other, SARG designing, designating Ran as a terrorist, and all that stuff. And they kind of forgot about the first half of the season. Throughout the entire second half, we had Asumi contact them like, what now? I think so, yeah. Did she contact them in the recent episodes? I don't remember. I don't think she did. It really thinks like it really feels like halfway through the writer or the director or someone changed or changed their mind. Actually, I'm gonna take a quick look at Tokyo 24 stuff. Tokyo 24 cool. And let's take a look at staff. I'm not gonna put it on screen because I just wanna take a quick look at the writer. Mm, uh, writer is not a role apparently on any list. Director, designer, director, music planning, script. No, the script was written by a single person all throughout. Vio Shimokura. And Vio Shimokura was a script writer on Tokyo 24Ku, and that's it. That's all. Writer affiliated with Nitro Plus. What's Nitro Plus? Visual novel developer. Actually, actually, you know what? Yeah, Tokyo 24Ku is very much giving me visual novel vibes. Right, with all the choices. Oh, I can absolutely see Tokyo 24Ku being a visual novel. Hmm, interesting. Interesting. Okay, I think that's all as far as stuff is concerned. Uh, let's quickly review the series, I guess, a little bit. You know, my opinion on writing, on story, on characters. Characters felt fairly inconsistent, mostly. Mostly Chikuwa, Zero, and kinda Kouki. Uh, Ran and Shuuta and the like third um, sideline characters like Mari and all those others felt sure they were actually consistent, so I had no problem with them. Um, Gori was kinda inconsistent. Tsuragawa was cool. Uh, I I still don't buy her being Carniadis. It kind of feels like a cop out, but maybe that's just me. As far as music is concerned, actually decent. Actually, genuinely decent music. Not something that I would be, putting on my playlist and listening to, but genuinely good. Not your everyday, regular, bog standard J-pop. They were trying to do something here. Sound design was decent at times. Art, very inconsistent. Sometimes it was genuinely good, like in this episode in the finale. Sometimes it was extremely amateurish, right? You would be able to see aliasing on the lines around on the line work of characters. Characters on the first plane would be drawn in different art style than characters on the second plane. They would be scaled weirdly. There were art issues. There absolutely were. Faces of some people would be just deformed. Not not great, but nothing too egregious. Nothing too egregious. Animation wise, again, sometimes it was good, like in this episode. Sometimes it was just sliding PNGs. So again, very uneven, very inconsistent. Mm, what else is there to talk about? Character? No, we talked about characters. Voice acting. Voice acting was actually good. I actually liked voice acting in Tokyo 24Ku. Not gonna lie. Shuta, Koki, Ran, even Gori, Chikuwa, Tsuragawa, all of their voices were genuinely good, genuinely great. I think I liked Shuta's mother's voice the most. Actually, I'm gonna look up who was her voice actress. Um, Tokyo 24 Cool. I'm interested. I'm interested because I really genuinely liked her voice. Is she even listed? She is. Kiriko Aoi, her voice actress is Ai Nonaka. HK416 in Those Frontline. Would you look at that? Who else? Mostly visual novel roles, it seems. Mysterious Neko W, Alice Frankenstein, Mary Reed from Fate Grand Order and Fate Grand Carnival, Kyoko Sakura from Magia Records, Fuko Ibuki from Kaginado, Serval from Japari Park Season 2. Okay, that's interesting. And from Japari Park Season 1. Um, Anime Kirin from Kemono Friends. Someone from Gintama. Tirami from Amaburi. That's why the voice seemed familiar. She voiced Tirami. Would you look at that? Archduke Gorgon from Robot Girls Z. Interesting. Oh, that's quite a bit of roles. Kafka Fura from Sayonara Zetsubo Sensei Nyankin no Kiristo. That's another role I'm familiar with. That's a decently large portfolio. Fuko from Clanad. Theme song performance in Zetsubo Sensei. And theme song performance on episode 9 of Mahou Shoujo Madoka Magica. Okay, interesting. I really liked her voice. I really did. Uh, Anything else that needs to be talked about? I don't think so, honestly. I talked about the finale, I talked about my opinion of the series as a whole. Those two were kind of intertwined because the finale really was a culmination of the entire season. And honestly, the whole season, the whole series kind of hanged on that finale. How are they gonna handle it? They didn't handle it the best way, so the whole season kind of suffers for that. But yeah, will I be recommending Tokyo 24 to other people? Maybe if they don't have anything better to watch. Will I be coming back to it and rewatching it? Highly doubt it. Am I waiting for season 2? Should it ever come? Depends how they handle it. Depends how they handle it. If they go for a full superhero show, absolutely. I would be super hyped to watch second season. If they want to go for more drama, eh, I'd be kind of ambivalent on that. I don't think there's anything more to talk about, so I'm just gonna end it here. And now it's your time to tell me in the comments, what did you think of this episode? What did you think of this series? What did you think of my reaction? And do you agree with my assessment of it? Do you not agree? Did you maybe love this series and it's your like top 3 anime ever? If so, then tell me why, because I'd be curious. Did you not see any better anime, or did you genuinely love this one so much? Tell me about it. Like this video if you liked it, dislike it if you disliked it, but tell me why so I can improve. Subscribe to the channel to be notified of future releases. We are done with pretty much everything of the past season, so the future releases will be certainly Symphogear G, Showcase Shoujo no Virgin Road, Tate no Yusha Season 2, and we still have one episode of Arifureta left. And other shows, stay subscribed to know what those shows will be. Or, alternatively, join my Discord server. Link is right here. It's open to everybody, it's free to join. And you also get notifications whenever I upload something new. So if YouTube doesn't notify you, Discord will. And of course, you can also talk about stuff. There are channels for every single anime that I've been reacting to, so you can go there. You can even talk about spoilers because Discord has spoiler tags, while YouTube does not. If you want to support me monetarily, you can do so on Patreon. That's my Patreon name, and you can find the link in the description. For just $1 a month, you get access to a role on my Discord server that gives an orange name and access to a Patreon-only channel. For $5, you get to vote in polls. We will be watching this season. We will be watching one show that was a result of one such poll. And for $10, you get early access to non-seasonal shows, which this season there will be 2 of them: Symphogear G and the mystery show from the poll. And of course, share my videos with other people. The more you guys spread the word about my content, the more YouTube itself spreads the word about my content. And the more, people watch it, and the happier I am because people watch what I create. It always makes me sad when I release a video and it gets like 9 views. Although it's perfectly understandable. Not every single video I release will be a banger. That's a given. So, that's really gonna be it for me for today. Tokyo 24Ku was decent, but nothing, particularly great. But yeah, maybe it's gonna get a remake. Maybe it's gonna get a second season. I've no clue. What I do know is that you guys should do all the good stuff, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. Cheers. And here's yet another thing you get as a Patreon. You get to be in the credits of my videos.